the first people on earth, Adam and Eve, they've been two individuals, man and woman, or Adam and Eve, they got another meanings,
So,
different meanings?
I believe that Adam and Eve are a metaphorical imagery for the creation of mankind. I do not believe that they are literal human beings who were created in a garden and put on earth, and from them all other human beings came. And the reason why I don't believe that is because the language of Genesis 1, when it says, "And we shall create man in our image, and in his image he created them, and he created them male and female," is speaking of the fact of it's a polemic. The whole of the poetic language of Genesis 1 is a polemic against the pagan beliefs that surrounded the Jewish people, where different people believed that there was a God for the sun and the moon, and a God for the oceans, and a God for the land, and a God for the sky, and a God for this kind of animal, and a God for that kind of animal. It is a rebuke to all of that. It is saying that there's only one God, and he is the creator and author of all things, and in him alone all things are sustained. So when it talks about Adam and Eve, bearing in mind that Adam in Hebrew actually means mankind, it can be read poetically. It can be read poetically to mean that God has created mankind. Now, scientifically, the Genesis story is not too far removed from the truth, because biologically speaking, the current theorem of biologists is that the human species started from a collective of somewhere around the number 12. The genetic coding of human beings is pointing towards a common origin. And that common origin, as it goes further back in time, must obviously narrow. So what is really interesting is that given in a time when the author of the book of Genesis had no possibility of knowing the common origin of humanity, and to his own observation, human beings were numerous and spread out, if he was just making it up based upon his own observations, he might have well have come up with the idea that the God created lots of people and placed them in different places. But he didn't. He came up with the story that all human beings had a common origin from a common source. And so poetically, as it is written, it is very close to what we know biologically to be true, and I believe that this is evidence of the divine giving Moses, the author of Genesis, knowledge beyond and outside of his common experience that he could have known simply as a human being. And thus it is an evidence for the truth of Genesis. Any other